Here's T. She is cute. I wanted to love her. I wanted to love her so much because this took over 8 hours for me to make. And I'm a little embarrassed to say that. I know I should give myself grace, and not compare myself. When I see other clay artists take about an hour or two to make their sculptures, and then they have this whole army full of them by the end of the day, I was only able to make this one little character, and I'm not even really liking her, which is fine. I'm a beginner, and I gotta remember these people has been doing this for years. And I just got into like making dioramas, and I don't really make clay figures that often, especially human-like ones. So I gotta remember that I'm just a beginner, and that's okay, and never compare yourself to others because it doesn't do you any favors. But yeah, this is my first attempt of T, and lucky for me, I was motivated enough to make a second attempt, which I'll show you in a second. But a lot of the things that I don't like about her are like her hair. It's too bright green, first of all, and then I deviated from the artwork. Here is T's design, which I love so much, but you can clearly see her hair does not comb all the way down to the nape of her neck, and she's wearing a mask. But this covers all of that, and it just looks a little too gimmicky for me. And then I painted on her eyes the same color, and that doesn't help again with the mask effect. I tried to make her little leafy tendrils, and now they're all distorted, they're cracking, and it just doesn't work. And then with my skill level, my clay is just very lumpy. I try my best to smooth this out. Some mistakes that I made and that I've forgotten about polymer clay is that it shrinks, and you can also bake it in between stages. So I didn't do that. I was trying to make this in one go, which you don't want to do because then you risk distorting it the more you manipulate it. And you can clearly see that. So her legs are kind of wonky, and her dress is very lumpy. And I could have just avoided some of that by just baking her in stages. So yeah, and then some of it is just skill level. I did try to sand it to make it smoother, but then it would leave like these weird little white marks. I don't know if you can see that. So can you not sand colored polymer clay? So if you're a clay artist or you work with clay and you know tips and tricks that you can give me, please leave them in the comments because I would really like to learn from it. I want to make more desk buddies and clay figures, but I do want to practice more before I do any of that, and I would like to sell some of my pieces, but I want to make sure they're a lot better than this before I sell them to you. Like, I do have rocks and catnip on my shop, but these are rock characters, and by no means do they need to be perfect because they're rocks. The whole point of creating these is because I wanted to add a little whimsy and joy to your environment, especially like your plant environment. So if you collect plants or you have a garden or even homestead and you have like a lot of like nature around your environment, adding these would look so cute. Like, that's what I would eventually want to do. I want to have my little figures around in this. Imagine being in your garden and then you just look over and you see you see rocks just sitting there watching. I think it's so cute. And why not bring a little bit of happiness and joy to your world with these cute little figures? I just love them so much. But again, they're rocks, so they don't have to be perfect. And so with that being said, like, T doesn't have to be perfect, but she needs to look like I have to put more effort into her than a rock character. And some of my other characters will need a little bit more effort than just making rocks. So yeah, that's why I was a little bummed about her, but that's okay. And so the next day I took time and I tried to learn from my mistakes, and I made her. Now, I love T variation number 2. I think she's so cute, and I think she's perfect for the diorama. Now, I wanted to make T small because I wanted her to, like, I wanted to give the appearance like she can fit through her door. I'm not going to be using her door, but I wanted to give her that appearance. But I made her a little bit bigger because, again, the clay will shrink. I toned down her hair, and then I also made it shorter like the artwork. And then you can clearly see her mask. And then I added some more marbling to it to look like the grain of wood. And I also toned down her eyes, which I'm happy that it works because I thought I was going to have to change it and I didn't want to do that. I had these faux plants and I think that worked a lot better than using floral wire and trying to create the leaves. I do have mistakes with this one. Like there's a huge crack in there and there is still some lumpiness throughout. But I think she looks way better and I'm way more happy with her than this first attempt. I mean, clearly you can see that I've improved in just a day. I mean, like, when I compared them, I could not stop laughing at this one. Like, just looking side by side, this looks like a Roblox or a Lego character. And I just couldn't stop laughing at my first attempt. But I'm going to keep her because this just shows how much I've improved in just one day. So imagine, like, years down the line, how much better I can get at making tea. So, yeah. I do want to redo this area because right now it just looks like I'm collecting things up here. But before I do that, I need to do my nails, otherwise they will just break. So I'm going to work on that and then I think I'm going to declutter this and give it like a little facelift.